Hey guys, what's up and welcome to another episode of the Goodcast Show. Fake degrees. That is our topic of discussion for today's episode. Believe it or not, this is a growing concern in Malaysia, particularly in recent times. A screening firm, Verity Intelligence Sdn Berhad, had found that over a 2-year period, they screened about 100,000 professionals and averaged 30 to 40 cases per month of applicants using fake educational credentials. It is also reported that around 70% of fake degree cases involved forged certificates from local institutions rather than foreign ones. Another summary article quotes a corporate fraud investigation agency that had reported that between 5 to 7% of job seekers they investigated had fake degrees, and around 10 to 15% qualifications come from unaccredited institutions. In July of 2024, the media had reported that fake degrees are being advertised for sale, with price ranging from 1,500 up to 4,000 for a degree. Now, to share more insight on this issue, we have a guest from the Malaysian United Democratic Alliance, MUDA, to share his insight on his fight to protect Malaysians from the scam educational credentials. He is also an author of his own book, Shut Up! Progress is the only option. It's available on his website. We'll be sharing the link in the description, so get your copy now. He is none other than Dr. Siva Prakash Ramasamy. Dr. Siva, welcome to the podcast and thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you for having me today.
No worries, man. Always great to have you on. Now, let's start with painting a picture. What is the overview of the fake degree issue in this country?
Okay, I mean, as what you rightfully pointed out, the statistic and so on. What I've been advocating for the last 5 years is specifically on unaccredited organization.
Okay.
So there are two branches here. One, fake degrees or impersonated papers from an actual universities. Another branch is where this particular organization will never exist or are not allowed to issue such credentials. So I always focus on the second branch at the later. In the last 5 years, I have noticed there are growing trend of organization popping up here and there, awarding the certification in a public forum, having it in hotels and recently even in university venues. Easily hundreds of recipients, in each graduation. So from my survey, I've seen at least 6 to 7 graduations every year.
From these unaccredited institutions?
Unaccredited institution and also institution that never existed.
Okay.
So they just use a name and having their platform on a social media and that's it.
But why do people go to these unaccredited institutions? Obviously, if they are giving a degree or an educational credential just like that, these people know that they are buying a fake degree. Why do people go to them?
Very, very interesting because I've spoken with some of them about this, and without quoting any names, the feedback was they don't have the prerequisite to go through the traditional path. One, number two, it's easy.
Of course.
It's easy to get. I just pay money and I have this credential. Especially, with those people who already have experience, in that particular industry, they want to have a self-recognition. But they know if they follow the normal path, that is not possible. So it's, in Malay they say shock sendiri.
Shocks. Now, there was even a call to audit our parliamentarians to see among them who were using fake degrees or got their degrees from unaccredited institutions. Has this problem crept to such high altitudes in our country?
Well, the straightforward answer is yes. I believe the Institute for Professors, I can't recall the agency's name. These are the a group that consists of all the professors in Malaysia.
Council of Professors.
Yeah, the council
something
of
like that. Yeah.
I can't really recall the name by now. So they have been advocating this. They raised this, to audit all the credentials that we have among the adults and parliamentaries. But it end up in deaf ears, obvious reason. Right? There's not one, two. So there are one too many that are having such, and it doesn't stop there. right? But people who voice this out have stopped because taking a lot of time, our resources to shout and create awareness, but the authority that is involved, who have the locus or who have the honest to take action, are just sweeping it under the carpet.
You must be somebody must have faced some pushback from this industry of unaccredited institutions or people who give out fake degrees, because you've been doing this for a few years and you are hurting somebody's wallet. So what have been some of the pushbacks that have come your way?
Well, I have received threatened calls and all that as well. Just never bothered me. And some people wanted to sue me as well for what I'm doing. I mean, if you're doing the right thing, why you have to worry, right? So,
and I think it would be silly for them to sue you, because that just opens a can of worms that's not going to benefit them.
Yeah, I mean, well, if they think what they're doing, I mean, see, the problem here is the recipient has been deceived, right? And also they have been scammed to an extent that they believe what they are receiving is
real,
right? And the guy, I mean, it's really amazing, how the scammers work. Their psyche. Right? They when they talk as if they don't make any mistakes. I mean, what they are doing is right, and they can support that with some dodgy statistics, figures, laws and all that. But then when we put it on table, okay, let's clear this up through a legal process, they go missing. So that has been the trend so far. When I go to the authorities, right? So the typical response that I receive is from the Ministry of Higher Education. The first 2 years, I had a big hill to climb. Why I'm saying that, there wasn't much response from MQ or MOHE. I went to the police station, make reports, spent 6-7 hours, to go through the process and all that. No response. But then after 2 years, I came across an influencer, on TikTok, who happened to receive, such a dodgy certificate as well. So I, as usual, just expose it, and that thing went viral. And then the Ministry of Higher Education contacted me from nowhere. Doctor, you don't have to come to our place tomorrow. We'll come and see you. Let's put a stop on this. We'll try to take action and so on. I was like, hang on. I've been advocating, shouting about all these issues. You guys never wanted to take any action, and now there must be something. So I went there, met the relevant the people in the Ministry of Higher Education. They made a news report. They don't want this to be to be exposed further, right? Okay, and then the thing just went down. Those NGOs that has been exposed, they stopped doing things for a while, and then you will see every now and then someone will pop up and then repeat the same thing like any other scam.
They always come back.
And there will be group of people will be falling into the trap.
Is it fall or purposely or unknowingly? Because it sounds like both, right?
Yeah.
But more to purposely.
More to purposely. I mean, sharing some of my personal experience. I'm a supervisor for PhD candidates, right? So we do our own marketing to get quality candidates and so on. Out of 10, 8 of them won't meet the prerequisite. Okay. But they're eager to get it. So these people are obvious target, for these scammers. The other two who meet the prerequisite won't want to proceed because they want to find an easy way. So they'll be asking, is there any easy way I can pay more to get a certificate? So that is out of 10. When we go further, 100 out of 100, one will be genuine, want to register and become a PhD candidate.
Out of 100, one.
So the remaining 99 are
potential market
for these NGOs, and it's very lucrative. So I'm probably in the wrong business.
You should have been the other side.
Exactly. Yeah. The statistic explains it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the Higher Education Minister, Zamri Abdul Kadir, he says that there is no need to amend the Private Higher Education Institutions Act of 1996 and that this existing law is enough to curb the awarding of fake academic certs. Do you agree with this statement?
His statement is partially correct, right? So the Act 555 only allow this particular ministry to impose any action against registered institution.
I see.
So if it is a college or IPTS, we put it IPTS in Malaysia issuing such a certificate, yes, they can be punished.
But if they're unregistered?
Yeah, exactly. So that is the grey area. They don't fall under the purview of MOE nor MOHE, but it is an issue of credential. So SSM or ROS are not interested. So none of them want to take responsibility. So I see that as a big issue. So what he said is correct, but he don't have that power unless they amend and say if it is to do with the credential, with such such titles, and they can be subject to certain penalties like what they did for the dato-ships.
Yeah.
Dato-ship have been having the same issues. Come to a point when Istana steps in, they come up with a database of Istana, and then anyone who don't fall under that, they can be charged. So that is something we look forward for.
So in this current situation, when the law is clearly undefined about unregistered institutions, who has the power, which authority has the power to do any enforcement on that?
Legally speaking, I think SSM, MCMC, even MACC, at some point should have the legal rights because there's a transaction of money.
Yeah.
Right. So MACC can come in, to do with the AMLA, MCMC because they are using the social media as a platform to lure people, into this scam. So these are the people that I can see as the interest party. On the other side, because it's to do with education, Ministry of Higher Education should be given a certain power to take action against all these culprits.
Okay. Now, the source of fake degrees, as the internet tells me, please add or correct me if I'm wrong, they highlight three sources. One is third-party websites and syndicates. One is unaccredited institutions, which you have mentioned, and fraud within accredited unis, right? Which is the greater source of fake degrees?
The unaccredited.
Okay.
The unaccredited, in a sense of some of them don't even exist. Some do, but then in a area that is not recognized by outside their boundaries. So these are the biggest portion of all of that.
Now, you've been working a lot with this. So are there currently any moves forward in this sort of curtailing this whole problem in your experience?
A good thing is, I have exposed one of the incident that happened recently, which I managed to collect, some good evidences, against them. And I contacted more than 6 authorities, agencies, within Malaysia because I can see, probably because of the experience, over the last 5 years, I've seen many agencies before. 3 out of the 6 agencies agreed and said there is a locus to take action. So I just received a call, an hour ago that to update me about the process and what is the next steps and so on. So after 5 good years, in fact, I started. I came aware of this since 2013. So that is like almost 12 years. After good 12 years, I think we are making a progress.
Okay.
And I hope this will be a precedent for the ministry to see this as a serious issue and take it from there.
Okay, man. And of course, we hope that they do. Now, one of the things, apparently, the hurdles to solving this problem is apparently the reluctance of employers to lodge police reports when they come face to face with a fake academic credential. This apparently allows individuals, of course, to move on then to other jobs and still use the same qualification. So is this simply Malaysian politeness at play, or is it a case that people just don't want to get involved, get their hands dirty?
Yeah, very good question, Vinod. I think before I go into the question or to give an answer, I was asked the same question by IO, the investigation officer, during I think in 2022. Good IO, she was very accommodative and so on. Made me wait for 5 hours without breakfast, without lunch, and then she asked me the same question. She said,
After 5 hours of empty stomach.
exactly. He said, doctor, see, there are many people out there, having doctorates. Why you are so passionate about this, to make complaint? And I don't see any employers or even other doctors bringing up this issue. I said, thank you, Puan. You tengok, So, saya dah duduk kat sini 5 jam. Tak makan breakfast, tak makan lunch. So, siapa nak go through hassle ni kalau kita diperlakukan sebegini? I think she felt bad lah. Doctor, I'm really sorry. I was stuck with other things just now. I wasn't meant to put you on hold and so on. So, I think reflecting from there, it is more towards why would I bother to spend? Yes, I caught him. Let's move on. So I have my screening process in place. If he's cheating, it's his own moral and integrity issue. I probably blacklist him within my company, but I don't care about the rest because I don't want to. It's not my part. Most of my friends say it's not the agency's KPI. It's not the employer's KPI. So why they bother? So there's no KPI in place. There's no proper mechanism to punish or even reward people who are exposing this in place.
There's no protection, there's no whistleblower act and all that to protect them, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. But is there a way, perhaps an avenue for people to check whether is this institution accredited or is this degree I'm getting accredited?
Very good question. I'm glad that you asked this question because the same question popped up from the mouth of a lawyer yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
See, I told you I should have been a lawyer.
So I was like, and I was shocked. Say, Dato, I said, Dato, if you are asking this question, can you imagine the majority population? So not many people are aware. There are, avenues. One, they have for the local doctorates. There's a database. Right, if you can put my name on it, you'll see when I graduated, which universities, for those local universities. For international, there are a couple of other links as well.
So that means this platform features the list of accredited universities.
Even the recipients.
Even recipients. So if I put a degree from a fake university, it won't appear.
Exactly.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So and in Malaysia, we have these agencies, MQA, even Ministry of Higher Education to provide, such a confirmation as well. But those 3 independent database that we have is not exposed to the public. One. Number 2, who going to take the hassle to go through this, to find out and then to do the checkings? Probably the people who are educated enough, one. Number 2, people who are in the interest area. But majority, I think 99%, won't even know such thing exists.
What is your primary concern about that would result in terms of the consequence that will result from this fake degree industry? What is your primary concern?
Firstly, integrity, misleading information. These are the 2 critical things. See, when someone hold a doctorate degree, they're specialized in something. The process they have to go through, is where, you read, over 1,000 articles which will lead into you identifying new variables, new theories, the entire process from, you spend 2 or 7 years, make you specialize in small thing. I'm not saying someone who holding a doctorate is a gango thing, right? It's not a crown, on their head. But at least this person can be certified. They have earned that particular title, and they are qualified to speak about something, to talk about a certain area, and so on. On the other hand, when we have someone getting a fake degree from unknown source, people, laymen out there, they will assume that this person is qualified to give such advice. Recently, I saw a court ruling, if I'm not mistaken. punishing influencer 10,000 ringgit or 10 million, something like that, 2 days ago, for giving a financial advice, right? So these people who holding this particular title always carried away and think they are the expert.
Yeah.
They might be, in the industry, for good years. That doesn't mean, or that doesn't make them an expert. So they earn this title to portray themselves as an expert and then deceive others into believing them.
Have you seen or do you have any past examples of cases where people with fake degrees have resulted in a bad outcome in a job that they were doing or something?
Many. I mean, I don't want to name anyone.
Yeah, you don't have to name names, but at least the story.
I mean, they are in all industries. Surprisingly, including medical.
Medical.
Even medical. Yeah, I mean that's.
On one side, I have to give a bit of respect to these people who have the guts to have a fake degree and practice medicine. It takes some guts to do that.
Exactly. I mean, having guts is one. Number two, for them to believe
that they are a doctor.
They are a doctor. I can't just, I can't just put it together, lah. That's and they start treating people, right?
This happened recently.
I've seen this over the years, many years. Wow. Even recently, I saw a video of recipients eagerly, the happiness, right? You're graduated, I got a PhD. I'm going to use this particular qualification to heal people from stroke. And I was like, hang on. Your traditional medicine practice, that is totally a different thing, right? You cannot use the word doctor to expand what you are doing, your traditional medicine, and that can lead into a lot of complication. So when I saw that, I was taken back. I said, this thing has to stop. Okay, if a financial advisor giving a financial advice, it's going to impact people financially. Okay, you can earn money back. And then
but at least at that situation, the person receiving the advice has the option to say, no, this is wrong advice, or I don't believe. But when you go to a doctor, you surrender yourself to that person.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this person might, get carried away and started coming up with their own theory or their own research or their own findings and imply on other patients. That can cost a lot. So instead of waiting until something bad happens, and then go and stop it, we should curb it from now itself.
Which are the industries in your time doing this? Which are the industries that are most prone to have fake degrees come in and apply for a job in?
Not particularly a job, but what I've seen is insurance industry. Big.
Why insurance?
I have no idea because
the
insurance agents are good salesmen right? Most of the time. They are hardcore, probably better than the car salesman. They make good money,
okay,
good return, and they need there come a point they need a self-recognition, recognition. Abraham Maslow theory, right? So you elevate, you elevate. When you go to the top, you want a recognition. It's either to go through a datorship. Now datorship has been blocked. It costs you 200,000. Oops. Or whatever money it is.
How do you know, doctor?
So whatever money you have to pay, they say, okay, I have another route. I have to pay only 10,000 ringgit to get a doctor. And I have seen, insurance agent, I asked this particular person, Dato, you have your doctorate. What is your field? What is your research about? I got my doctor in another way. I was like, what other way? Oh, not
the person should be talking to.
Exactly. So insurance, I have seen many. I mean, firstly, I respect all these ideas. They are experts, they know how to sell. They're doing a noble thing, getting people, covered and all that.
Yeah.
But when come to point when you start having the fake credential, it goes back to the question of integrity. So what you are selling and what you are doing, doesn't connect. So are you the right person to sell this particular product? Where is your integrity? Will you be selling the product with any integrity? So that will be the question that we need to ask. On the second rank, I'll put the entertainment industry.
Okay.
Celebrities, I admire them, right? You are really good.
This is local.
Local.
Okay.
I'm talking only Malaysia
Okay.
perspective, right? So they'll be like, doing very well, on Astro or even in the cinema industry. But then at one point, again, Abraham Maslow theory, they want a self-recognition, then go and get this fake degree. And that, it's off lah. When I see this, I've been admiring you for your, whatever you are doing, the good things, the CSR that you are doing, and suddenly you resorted to such a cheap, way of getting a self-recognition. I don't know why they do that.
Why can't they just enroll in something and do it?
Yeah.
In fact, why do they need the doctorate?
Exactly.
Why do you need it? I don't understand.
It's a piece of paper with no recognition at all, and you're paying 500, 1,000, 2,000, whatever value for a piece of paper that not going to have academic recognition, professional recognition, and in fact, I think I should rephrase my sentence. It's not a the particular institution doesn't exist, in the first place. In most cases. So, where you want to use this certificate? So you want to just have a doctor in front of your name. Why paying someone only? Just put your name, a doctor in front of your name. I've seen another friend who sells this biryani, Doctor Biryani, right? So yeah, just put it on your own. Why you're paying someone?
Exactly. No one's going to ask you anything.
Exactly. So it just doesn't make sense, to me. So my concern is more towards people who are receiving this.
Yeah.
Right. So you wanted to have that small graduation. Back then they used to have this graduation just in the house next to the toilet. You got all the photos, and then they upgraded to a hotel room, and now it has gone to university hall, which all can be rented. Yes, but then how they portray to the public, how they convince the public that this is something to do with this particular university. So there's a collaboration between this university and the other university. So, it's a Chinese whisper. So one thing leads to another, and people think, yes, this is the right way and easy way to go and get our good.
Now, the thing is, of course, we are talking about we need policies or certain changes in the acts and all that. But should we implement other things as well? For example, should we make it mandatory then for employers to do background checks? Those sort of much more tougher enforcement, shouldn't it be there?
That is one. If you look at it, the concern is beyond employers here.
No, but because these are sort of these are the reasons why people would want to buy a qualification, right? Because they may get access into a job or something like that. So what I'm saying is that why don't we cut off all the supply chains, 111 and all that, all the supply routes?
From my findings, over the years, the degree credential, the statistic that you shared earlier, right? It's more for those who are having diploma, degrees, and masters. This is to do with employers. But if you go into the doctorate, people don't use doctorate to get into employment.
Of course.
So it's more for
just a status
recognition. So going back to your question, yes, employer should be made mandatory, and there should be a centralized database for them to report. For instance, for insurance industry, they have this where each time you visit a clinic or hospital, they will put up your details, in the centralized database. And if you make a claim, with one insurance company, they will put your record, whatever it is, in a centralized database. So all insurance companies have access to it. They can check anytime, in future. But they don't have such thing for credentials. So if for instance, if an employer spotted something, they should be able to go into a centralized database, punch in the candidates' names, what they have done, and so on, and put it up. So that will stop people at some point. Yeah.
No, just to give the viewers some context, between 2019 to 2024, compliance audits have been carried out on 355 institutions for the lack of compliance to the Private Higher Education Institution Act 555, as you mentioned. Among the reasons for the audit are errant institutions. For a country the size of Malaysia, 355 institutions being audited is a huge number. Yeah. What's wrong with the system that these institutions can operate so freely? They can do whatever they want. It seems that in our country,
lack of enforcement.
That's all.
lack of enforcement. There's no serious penalty towards the wrongdoers. Probably, they don't see the consequences, right? So when we always play this wait and see game. What I've seen, instead of seeing other neighboring countries, we want to something happen to us, then we react. So that is very, very wrong.
We are very reactive.
Yeah, that's not how quality things work, right? Yeah, from what I've seen, I mean, if you go to country like Pakistan, Nepal, most of them will be professor and doctors, right? Because the same route. So from what I see with the statistic that you just shared, and then the worry that I have, we are heading towards that. Come to a point, when you walk on the street, out of 4, 3 will be a doctor. So in fact,
the people who study so hard.
What I did was, this caught, I think, Ministry of Higher Education's attention some times ago. I said, I'm going to open up a NGO in Cyprus, and then I'm going to award every single Malaysian a doctorate degree. For the fact, you should have a course, right? Why you are awarding? For the fact that they have born in Malaysia or bred in Malaysia. So every baby will have a doctorate degree for free.
For free, yeah.
For free. So, and what will happen? Every Malaysian will have a doctorate by default. So everyone can claim. So when I put this statement out, and then Minister of Higher Education reacted and say, "Oh no, NGO cannot do this," and but it stopped there.
They seem to be very certain to know what an NGO can do, but not what an unregistered university can do. Yeah,
exactly.
Now let's go into this then. In your opinion, now, what should be the ultimate action plan to stop this?
Okay, I think there should be a collaborative action from a few agencies, primarily MCMC, right? Because they are the one who have the authority over things being shared, on social media.
No, sorry, Doctor. Before you proceed, just one thing came to my mind. One of the things, of course, is online syndicates that freely operate on our social media. Has MCMC taken note of this? Are they planning something to combat this?
Yeah, of course, they will be waiting for someone to lodge a complaint and all that. So I have lodged a complaint recently, and they have responded positively that they're going to investigate. In fact, I checked the current status; it's under investigation. So that is a positive, news.
Yeah.
For me at least. And then I have a response from SPRM as well, and MACC, because it involves money. Someone's taking money on behalf of an organization that is outside Malaysia, or at least claimed outside Malaysia. That's obviously money laundering. Right? You're collecting money for organization outside using a local bank or local registration, account Keldai or whatever it could be. I wouldn't have that information unless we investigate further. So MACC agreed, to take action. Police wanted to work with these two organizations, to take this further as well. So there is a progress that I'm seeing. Ministry of Higher Education, unfortunately, no response as usual. This is going back to the recent incident. I have also contacted the the commissioner in Florida, for an incident that happened with an organization recently, to provide some documents and so on, so we can freely request. So I've contacted them, yet to receive any response. Malaysia Hindu Sangam have responded, and they don't condone such activities and all that.
What's stopping you from suing these institutions?
First, I don't have the locus.
Okay,
I need a locus to. I'm as a what in Malay we call it penggerak, right? I'm creating awareness. But how?
What do you need to have the locus?
I should be a recipient.
Then I think it's time you signed up.
Well, that was my lawyer's advice. He said, why not you signed up, get a certificate, and then I said, well, that's probably one option, but they are not one play out there.
Huh?
They're not one player out there.
At least it unravels the industry. I'll join you, doctor. Let's do it together. We can pick our doctorates.
Double, yeah?
Double doctorate. Yeah. Okay, so there is, as we mentioned, a link or something that people can go and check on this, right?
Yes.
All right. So please share that link, and then I can share. So thank you so much, Dr. Siva, for coming on. There's Dr. Siva sharing his opinion and his moves and his efforts in unraveling the fake degree scam, the unaccredited universities that seem to be popping up in Malaysia, who are scamming people, and laymen who want to, some of them want to do better in life, others just want to take the easy route. We wish him all the best. I'm really serious about that doctorate thing. Let's sign up. Let's do it. It'll be fun.
Thank you very much, Vinod, for having me. It's always
my
a pleasure. And also for people who are watching this, please be very wary. There are a lot of scammers out there. Check the credentials, background. Check who's awarding it. Check whether it is accredited or not. Don't pay money for empty paper. That's all.
All right. Thank you. That was Dr. Siva's advice. Thank you, Doctor. And again, he also has a book out. Shut Up. Progress is the only option. We'll be sharing the links on the description. You can get his book. It's a nice book about a lot of motivational advices and self-help as well. I love it. So guys, Doctor, you always have a seat on this podcast. Please come back next time. We can discuss other matters once we both become doctors as well.
Sure. Pleasure will be mine.
So thank you guys again. We have many guests coming up. Next, we have Dato' Joe Samad coming up to talk about the upcoming Sabah state elections and many other content coming your way. So please, as always, like, share, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments section, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.